What's going on, guys? Andy here. Today I'm going to be taking another look at the Retroid Pocket 2. The last video I did was just kind of an out-of-the-box review of the device and what to expect when you first turn it on. Since then, I have done a lot of system tweaking and just kind of optimize some of the performance. Those things just included making sure that the background processes were set to 0 so that any application that I'm actually using in the foreground is using as much RAM as it can possibly get instead of having other things pull from that RAM and slow the system down. I've also, in the developer tools, disabled animations for the system so that the system doesn't kind of chug through simple processes. So today I'm just going to be taking a look at the DIG Emulator Frontend on this system. Now, I have actually used an application to set DIG as my home launcher. It's a very easy to use application. It's completely free. It just allows you to set any application as your launcher. And for me, for this system, DIG was what I wanted it to be. So I have already changed the theme. This Revive theme was included on the SD card when I got the device. So it was really just a matter of setting that up, and I can just show you briefly how to do that. So whichever theme you're on, you're gonna want to look for options here, and then scroll down to where it says themes. Now in here you can click this top where it says select themes there, and it'll bring up a little drop down. From there you can select any of the themes that you want, or you can scroll down to browse themes, which will open like a marketplace so you can download other themes, or you can install themes, and those are just going to be themes that you have downloaded that are already on your SD card or internal storage. Now, to add systems and games to the DIG Emulator front end, we're just going to click on ROM scanning at the top of the options menu. Go to Start Manual Scan. You can scan the whole device. That's probably what I would recommend doing, just because it's going to pull all of your games and you don't have to worry about it. For the sake of keeping this video a little shorter, I'm just going to select folders to scan. And so you're just going to need to go to where you have your ROM stored. If you have your ROM stored on your external SD card, that's just going to be labeled SD card 1. So we'll click on that. We'll go up to ROMs here. And then I'll just add one that I haven't yet added. We'll go with NES. So we'll click on that and then click confirm there. Once that's done, that's already started pulling those games in. And one of the nice things about the DIG Emulator front end is it also will automatically generate, of course, depending on what theme you're using, it'll generate a cover for the system itself. And it will also download, based on the names of your ROMs, which it hasn't quite started doing it just yet, but it's flashing, and the reason it does that is because it's still trying to load that information. But it will automatically scrape box art for the games that you have, right? So that's Game Boy Color. We've also got Game Boy Advance, and of course it doesn't come with all of these ROMs. It's just a matter of getting your own ROMs and getting it set up on there. But from there, to actually play these games, because DIG does not actually have any emulators built in, it's just utilizing third-party emulators, so it's really just a front end to organize the games. To make sure that's going to work, when you're in a system, if you press the R button, and it takes just a couple of seconds for some reason, it'll bring up a little side menu. If you scroll down to the bottom where it says Manage System, right here at the very top, if you click that, it'll show you a list of emulators that you can use to play the game. So at the top, you're going to have the most popular GBA emulators from the Playstore, and you can use those. You just have to make sure you have them installed. And you can also use RetroArch. So for me, I like to use RetroArch just because I don't have a ton of applications to do one job. I just have the two. So I have the front end, and then I have RetroArch that's actually the motor of the whole thing and is actually playing the games. So I have VBA Next set up for GBA. So we'll go ahead and close out of that. So once you've got it selected there, if you just go back, and really all you're wanting to do is just launch RetroArch. So if you're just still using the default launcher, you'll just go to the RetroArch application. For me, I'll go to Android, and this will show me all the Android applications that I have installed. You just want to launch RetroArch, click play, And now that that's loaded up, we'll just go to load core right here. And then in this list, you just want to look for that exact core that DIG had, which was GBA. It was next. Let's see. I think I've already got it set up on this one. Game Boy Advance. There it is. VBA next. So if you do not have it installed, all you have to do is just scroll down to where it says download a core. Click on that. And then you just need to find, and it's all alphabetical order, you just need to find that system. So it'll be Nintendo Game Boy Advance. I've already passed it. There it is. And then just find the core you want to use. I've had pretty good luck with VBA Next, so you can just go ahead and set that one up. So from there, if you just go back, and one thing that's worth noting, I've had issues if you leave RetroArch running. I've had issues with when I try to switch systems in DIG, it kind of leaves RetroArch in limbo and it won't actually let you play the game. It still launches RetroArch with the previous core. So one thing to make a good habit of is just to be sure you're always quitting RetroArch when you're done. And there's a really easy way to make sure you're doing that all in one fell swoop and you really don't ever have to think about it. So now if we go to Game Boy Advance and we launch a game, it's basically just going to trade off the game to RetroArch and launch it, so now I can play it. And I already have a hotkey set up, which is pretty easy to do if you just hold, for me, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but this is just kind of make sure, if you just have it set to one button, it's going to be really easy to close RetroArch and lose whatever progress you've got going on the game you're playing. So I have it just set to hold select and click B, and that'll just take me back here. Now to change that, if you want to change those hotkeys, go to RetroArch again, go ahead and launch it. It's really very easy to do, and you can also do hotkeys for fast forward, save state, rewind, cheats, what have you. So if you just go over here to the two little gear icons for the settings, scroll down to where it says input. One other nice thing that you can do is menu controls, because A and B, you know, you'd think A is confirm and B is cancel. So you can actually swap these buttons right here in RetroArch. I don't know if you've noticed, it's kind of set up more like an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller, where this is confirm and this is cancel. So now that I've swapped that, this will be back and this will be confirm. So if you just go to hotkeys here, I actually disabled confirm quit, just because it makes it a little easier. If you have that enabled, you'll have to press the button twice, basically, to close RetroArch. It's just personal preference. Now I have to open the RetroArch menu in game, just hold select for 2 seconds. And then the hotkey, I have that, or I'm sorry, hotkey is select. And then if I press B, it will quit RetroArch. Let's see, let's make sure this is set up right. So we'll go for the menu, we'll do hold start for 2 seconds. Okay, and then for hotkey, we'll just hold select. Okay, so now that's set up as our hotkey. So now if we want to quit RetroArch, there it is. And then just hold the button you want to quit the game. And you can also set up for save states, load states, slow motion, fast forward, which I'll go ahead and do that real quick. I like to set fast forward. We'll set it as ZR. For load state, we'll set it as X. And these are all going to be, it's going to be required that you hold the hotkey, which I've set as select, and then press the corresponding button. For save state, I'll do Y. Quit, RetroArch is already set up. I'll go ahead and do rewind, which is going to be ZL. And I think we can probably call that good. So now we'll go ahead and go back. And we'll go to configuration file. and we'll do save current configuration, and we will quit RetroArch. So now, once you're back here, when you launch a game, I'll show you if you launch like a Game Boy Color game, for instance, it's going to automatically pull that core from RetroArch and you're just going to jump right into the game. So again, I've got start set for the menu. If you just press and hold it for a few seconds, it's going to bring up your quick menu. We'll go ahead and go back to the quick menu and resume the game. And then I have select set for the hotkey. So if I hold select, I can press whatever button I had. So if I hold ZR, it's going to fast forward. If I press X, it's going to save, or I'm sorry, X is going to load, Y is going to save, and B is going to close. Right? So now that I have closed it, if you go back over to like a Game Boy Advance game, for instance, I'll go ahead and launch 007. Apparently I'm a big fan of 007 games on Game Boy. So now it's going to load the Game Boy Advance 007 game. And again, same thing, press and hold select, and then press B to close, and you're right back to square one. Anyways, guys, I can do a more in-depth setup on this if you need it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm going to continue working with the Retroid Pocket and continue setting up more to my liking, and I'll do a more in-depth review of the system once I've spent some more time with it and really worked on getting it tailored to my personal preferences. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, please like the video, subscribe if you want to support me, leave a comment. I'd be happy to communicate with all of you guys, and click the bell notification if you want to get notifications from me when I upload a new video. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good day.